Two precursors for this story. Jess Bentley, I'm sorry. Don't tell anyone else. And two, she'll be good. She'll be fine. Have you eaten recently? No, okay, she'll be fine. Secondly, this is a story where it's like, of anywhere in the world, this is where I am right now. This is my life, this is my job, and this is why OG is awesome. I'm just gonna start. So this is a story that Mikkel, my co-trip leader, and I experienced on our Amazon adventure trip. We decided pretty much while it was happening and afterwards that we would never tell it. But I told it last night and here I am now. So to start off with, Amazon adventure trip, it's awesome. We go to this city called Iquitos, 400,000 people in the middle of the jungle. There's no roads to get there. You have to go either by boat or by plane. It's a pretty awesome place, but it's a pretty intense journey to get there. So we've just finished, it's day 4 in Peru for 11 people. We've just done a 32-hour journey, so about 28, 29 hours in bus, 4 hours in Combi, which is a wonderful white van with tons of people packed into it. And we've just stayed a night in Yurimaguas, which is one of the sketchiest towns I've ever stayed in. So we wake up the next morning and we're going to get on this ferry, which is 3 days down the Amazon River, its tributaries, to Iquitos. So in the morning, Mikkel and I need to go and get hammocks where we sleep for the 3 days, Tupperware where we're going to eat, or out of which we're going to eat. And it actually turned out to be Janelle, one of the girls in our trip's birthdays. And obviously, as good trip leaders, we want a cake for her birthday. Oh, it was you that bought the cake. This is better. Okay. So, we asked Jess, oh wow, and another participant to get the cake. So they go and get this cake, and we want it to be a surprise still. She knows it's going to happen, it always happens. But we asked Jess, another participant, to get the cake, and like hide it a little bit when you get it, because we don't want her to see it. So they get this beautifully like white and pink iced cake. They show it to us. They're so excited they found it in this weird town because cake shops are hard to find. And so they find this cake and they keep it in a bag so that Janelle doesn't see it. You know, we're running out throughout the day. They're buying, we're like, you know, it's kind of like it's rice, a little bit of vegetable and meat, and boiled plantain. So get some snacks. So everyone's running around. They are also running around with this cake. It gets a little jumbled. You know, the plastic sticks onto it. It was still beautiful, but it was already a little bit mangled when we get on the boat. And as it turns out, the usual boats that we take, the bigger boats, weren't there that day, but we really wanted to leave, so we took a smaller boat. And it wound up being a really great deal, and they gave us this little room to keep all our stuff in. And they see us, they put all our stuff in, and then we go to hide the cake, because it's like lunchtime and we don't want to do it till after dinner. So we go in, and he says, you know, if you don't want to just put the cake there, we actually have this freezer in the room that you could put the cake in. It's not plugged in, but it's just somewhere, like some sort of container, to put the cake in until you need it. We think, thank you, random man. We will definitely put our cake in the empty freezer. So we put the cake in, and you know, we have our lunch there. We're just hanging out. The boat takes off, which is nice because then you get the breeze. There's like river dolphins. This is amazing. This is like the next 3 days of our life, and an awesome experience for the first week of the trip. So we have dinner, and then Mikkel and I are like, okay, it's time to take out the cake. It's time to surprise Janelle. Janelle's awesome. She totally deserves this, and it's her birthday. So we want to gather everyone together, and I just was thinking, okay, why, discussion, no. We're going to get together for a talk on hygiene, which is really ironic when you hear the end of the story. So we grab everyone together, and we're going to do a talk on hygiene. You don't know what's coming. So like Jess catches my eye, a couple other people, and they know there's a cake coming out. So Mikkel and I go into the room, and the light doesn't work, but he's got this little crank flashlight. So he starts cranking the flashlight. We open up the freezer, and the cake's kind of tipped, but like it's already been touching the bag, it doesn't matter. So we pick it up, take off the plastic, and the cake is covered in like millions of tiny little ants. And we're like, fuck. They know this is coming. We're gonna walk out of this, we can't walk out of this room with nothing. You know what, there's like, it's Peru, so like there's this much icing on it. We'll just pick the ants out. Like it's fine. So I'm standing there holding the cake. Mikkel is cranking the flashlight, and we're picking the ants out of the cake. But like, they just keep coming. We don't know. It's just like we get them all out, and like we don't even have paper towel or anything because we weren't prepared for an ant emergency. And so I'm like wiping them on my already sweaty legs and shirt and shorts. So we're kind of covered in icing and ants. Should I have said that detail? Okay, I'm gonna keep going. I can stop now. So we're going, and where are these ants coming from? And then we look underneath, and they're just covering the bottom styrofoam plate. And this is a point where you think, this is my life right now. I'm on a boat on the Amazon River in a tiny little room. I'm laughing. Michaela's just freaking out with this crying flashlight just going around and around. And I'm picking ants, tiny little ants, off this cake. And this is my life. And this is why OG is fabulous, and I love my life right now. So we figure out that they're coming from the bottom, so we get them all off. Finally, like we've done like a bunch of checks. I'm trying to calm Mikhail down. It's going to be okay. We're going to bring them the kidney. They're going to know it's just on the outside, the icing. So then I look at Mikhail, and he's covered in icing, and so am I. We're like, they're going to know something happened. So we just wipe up. We're presentable. And we walk out, and we light the candle. Some more difficulty. We light the candle, and we walk out. Everyone's excited. They knew it was coming, most of them. Janelle's totally surprised because she didn't even see the bag, the cake in it all day. And then, I don't know if it was Jess or someone who goes, oh, where'd you find the cake? Oh, you know, it took so long to get it. It's actually a bundt cake. So there's it's hollow in the middle. Oh my God, the cake is full of ants. There's ants all in the middle of this cake, and she's gonna cut it, and this is gonna be a disaster. And the best part is there's a picture of me bringing the cake down to Janelle, and you can see it in my eyes. I'm just terrified. This is gonna be an ant explosion. Wow. So I put it down, she blows out the candle, cuts the cake. I look at Mikhail, and he looks at me, and we're just, no ants. It's okay. We cut the cake.
Yeah.
I'm gluten-free, but just in solidarity, I eat icing. Mikhail ate a piece of the cake. Everyone had cake. We ate icing. Everyone was okay the next day. Don't tell anybody, Jess.